In the early stages of the COVID-19 pandemic, President Donald Trump's focus was on reopening the US economy as soon as possible. Now he wants children back in school as soon as possible, despite the fact that some educators are worried this will stoke a pandemic that's surging in certain southern and western US states. But Trump is adamant. He's even threatened to cut off education funding if schools don't resume activities next semester. And as if to underscore the importance on education, the coronavirus task force met at the US Department of Education, led by Vice President Mike Pence.
As the President made clear yesterday, it's time. It's time for us to get our kids back to school.
If children are expected back in schools, it's been a different story for US universities. Many of the leading ones had been switching to online-only courses to try to keep students safe in the next academic year. But immigration authorities warned earlier this week that overseas students risk being deported because under the terms of the visas that allow them to study in the United States, they must be physically present. That impacts hundreds of thousands of overseas students, the vast majority from China and India. And Harvard and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology are two universities that have teamed up to try to sue the US government to put a temporary halt on this order. And other universities are now scrambling to try to find a mix of in-person and remote learning courses. That may placate the US government somewhat, with the State Department announcing it was temporarily modifying the terms of certain visas that would allow those students to take a mix of online and in-person classes. But those students and academic institutions now have to decide which is the safest option for them. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Washington.